Hey everyone, welcome back! So I've been wanting to do this game for a while now, but until relatively recently this was only on mobile, and well, it's not really a great way to do that, so it really just never happened. But this is on Steam now, so we're going to be playing some Dawncaster. This is a card game, it's a card adventure, and there's a couple cards in this game, there's just like 1,300 cards. This was out for a while on mobile, so there are lots of expansion packs, and Steam gives you all of them by default. So I have all of them, just not the supporter packs. But we probably won't be touching on these just yet because they're much harder than the base game. So yeah, we're not touching that. And one of the main reasons, I think, is because this game has it's got meta progression. So your characters get stronger when you level them up. You get money for winning runs. And I started with $110. I went ahead and I bought the first 3 levels, and that's 10 across the board. So I guess I started with 110. Odd. Anyway, I bought the first couple things, which is just plus 10 gold, plus 5 luck, and plus 5 health. I assume once I somehow acquire $900 billion and get all the way to the bottom and, have all these great things, then maybe I can start doing some of the harder stuff. We'll see. Maybe one of these days. We are just going to start with the basic Jimmy. Just a good old warrior here. And like I said, everything is locked right now. So I can't select anything besides all the basic stuff. Not even this fork or this fist. All of it's locked to me. Sad. Very sad. I don't know what infernal invasions are. Also, and just make sure that is on the default setting. I did try and do one run, and it started me here, and I just know that run was doomed from the start. So I immediately quit. No, we want to do this one. This is the base game starting area. Like, I'm not really sure, like, a character that level 1 could survive the cemetery. That's one of the DLCs I did play on my phone. No, we're gonna be doing this one, and we're just going to do everything normal, I think. Again, not sure what that is. Our cards are limited to, I believe, just the base game right now. It's turned off all the extra cards. Like there's a lot of different card packs that have been added over time. So not too worried about that. And I'm gonna name this guy Jimmy. We'll see if I don't know if there's like a ranking system that's gonna show 300 Jimmys in there by the end of this. With how poorly every attempt at starting this run has gone, I'm pretty sure this is gonna be fine. I mean, last time it sent me to the cemetery of nightmares. I mean, everything's good. Everything's good. Normal difficulty, limited sets. We're on the Gilded Summons, Weeping Willow place, whatever it's called. Don't know what that is. I think we're good. I think we can start this game. Look, I've been trying to start this run for like 20 minutes. It's really rough. There's so many options. The Weeping Woods. The Weeping Woods create a natural border between the Shattered Realm and the demon-infested Umbries. I don't know what an Umbrie is, or how it's different from an Umbra. The Gilded Summons. 2 weeks after the invasion of the Umbrie, a series of pamphlets start appearing all over the Shattered Realms. The richly decorated paper invites all adventurers in search of fame, fortune, or absolution to report to the Bright Candle Fortress and join the glorious battle against Umbris. Your damp cloak hangs heavily over your shoulders, burdened by the rain that followed you on your long journey to the borderlands. In the dark distance, a flickering light steps out onto the muddy road. "Hail, stranger, state your intentions," a voice calls out to you as the light of his torch reveals the weathered face of a paladin of the vigil. "I'm here to get a job." The paladin nods. "I thought you might be. I pray you know what you're up against. The journey to the Umbrie is as treacherous as the demons that infest these lands. Jimmy, tell me, who are you?" The paladin furrows one of his graying brows. "Too old to fight on the front lines, too proud to sit out the war." He smiles and rests his free hand on a large hammer at his side. "More to the point, I'm guarding these roads and keeping an eye out for anyone answering the Gilded Summons. These woods behind me can be treacherous, and we wouldn't want to lose anyone whose greed or good intentions outweigh their ability." "Alright, tell me something." "A wise decision. The dark lands of Umbries, dark half of the Shattered Realm, now engulfed by perpetual darkness and home of many demons. Okay, so that's just like the Shadowlands. It's not been welcoming us kindly. The Radiant Militia is showing these demons their time in the Shadow Realms is over, and the dawn of humankind has arrived. The Militia? The Militia is a temporary coalition of the Council, the Regents of the Shadow Realm, and the Chantry of Light, and your future employer if you're here to get a job. So why have we decided to invade? Because now we have the blessing of the Sun God themselves. They sent us a clear sign and a champion who has managed to rally the Shattered Realms under their banner, or under one banner once again. And demons? You fighting demons? Yep, demons awaken the void spawn, the vilest of corruptions that have been a blight on our realm for too long. Alright. Oh, thanks, Jim. I'm skipping the tutorial because I have played this on mobile, so I know what I'm doing. I think. I swear I know. Report to Jimmy in the town. May the light guide you. Alright. Okay, so this is our game here. We have a starter deck. We have health. We have our little dude here. There's a question mark for funsies. The way this game plays out is... it's not Slay the Spire. I know a lot of people, they think card builders, they probably think Slay the Spire. This is not Slay the Spire. It's got some similarities in the fact that it's a card game and has energy, but that's about it. If you've never played a mobile card game, a lot of mobile card games have this general thing where there's a deck of events. It draws 3 of them, you choose one, and then the rest of the deck goes back in and shuffles. And then you go through the whole deck until you fight boss. That's how this game plays. We have our starting deck down here. We have our ability, which we can use every 4 combats, I think. I think it's every 4 combats. This is just going to give us like 6 health when we click it. So, kind of sucks. Probably. And we don't really care about that. Definitely not right now because we're at full health. We also have $35, and then we have our 3 options here. We have a opportunity, we have a combat, and then this is actually like the mini boss for this area. Every area's got like one super hard enemy, or I guess not super hard enemy, but one guy who's tougher than all the others. That's not the boss, and that's this one. Additionally, because he is that, he has a little thing where I believe anyone next to him gets this little buff, which is start of turn, gain 1 anger, which is 1 strength, basically. So if I were to fight this spider, he would get this buff since he's here. But we're not going to do that. If you've played this game, you might know, but you always click the treasure chest. You always click the treasure chest. Because while you choose an option and it all goes back into the deck, that isn't true for treasure chests. If you don't click the treasure chest, it just disintegrates. So just always click the treasure chest. A wall of fire. An arcane sigil suddenly lights up below your feet. In a circle all around you, a wall made of fire starts burning, trapping you inside. Alright, well, we can run through the fire, or we can put a card on the sigil. Okay, there is a website that tells us, like, what all of these things are. I do have a good chunk of the base game memorized. I think this... Look, it's 50-50 this hurts me, or, like, disintegrates one of my cards. This one puts a random, like, enchantment on a card. So I'm going to put it on this one. Yeah, it's going to add a random keyword. It's made it heavy. Okay. The card starts absorbing the magical energy powering the trap. The energy swirls around the card before being absorbed, adding an unexpected effect. Okay, well, heavy is... it's not terrible, but not particularly useful. It just means you can only ever play it once. It just doesn't get reshuffled when it's in your discard pile, so it's something. We'll do the spider, why not? Alright, so we got combat here. You draw 5 cards by default, and you get 2 energy for however much energy you have. I have 2 strength. We also have all these other stats if you really wanted to look at these stats, but we're not worried about that right now. We're worried about this spooky spider. He's got 24 health, and we need to kill him before he kills us. He is going to do something. He's going to do a ranged attack and then a melee attack of some sort. We have no idea what it is, and there's really not a great way to play against whatever that is. So just ignore it. We only care about what's happening down here. And what's happening down here is we have some blocks, we have some attacks, and then we have a thing that's +1 power, +1 health. You just always play that. Just always play that. Gets 3 power. Now, we can't play 2 attacks. The whole idea behind our starter character guy here is that we have a war mace that inflicts brittle. When you hit somebody with brittle is if the damage was dealt with a melee action, take 1 more damage per stack. So if I hit this guy for 2, I'll give him 2 brittle, and then next turn, if I hit him with this same weapon, I would do 4 damage and inflict 4 brittle. And then the next time, I would do 6 damage and inflict 6 brittle, and it just keeps stacking over and over and over, because these weapons inflict brittle for how much damage they do. So essentially, we just want to keep hitting him over and over with this weapon. We could also just block for a little bit if we wanted to, but we'll probably just whack him 1. And unlike, say, Slay the Spire, your energy carries over by default. So I'm just going to bank that 1 energy for later. And he is a baby who does, not much, so I'm not particularly worried about his spookiness. And look at that, I get another one of these, and I can now hit him twice. Or we can use our special card, the 1 extra card we started with, which is make a basic attack, flanking, gain 1 haste. So this will basically just play a free version of this, and if it's on either the far right or the far left, then it will do this action, which is gain 1 haste, which means the next card we draw will cost 1 less power, because this costs 2 power right now. So we'll just go ahead and play that, and that's gonna put 4 brittle, and this will put 6 brittle on him. Yep, 6 brittle. And then next turn, we should draw a card that only costs 1. Or I guess if it's the shield, it'll cost 0, technically. Yeah, it's only gonna cost 1. And go ahead and play these. We'll get a little bit of health back. And then he is super dead. Perfect. Hooray! 20 XP, and I don't think we get any money for that. No, we get $3. And my question marks will continue to stack until the end of time. Let's see, we have a couple options here for cards. Gain 4 armor. If you have 10 or more armor, gain fortified. I could theoretically become Blockman, because there are, a handful of builds in this game, and Block is definitely one of them. We could just deal 15 damage, draw 2 cards, Rampage. I believe Rampage triggers when you've taken damage on a turn? Is that true? Cards with Rampage get double damage, but no. That's what is. There definitely is a keyword that is if you've taken damage that turn. Rampage is just double damage from strength. I don't think we take any of these cards. This is just so expensive, so expensive. This one is tempting. It is prayer, gain 1 holy energy, bury a card. Burying a card is exhausting. It's you disintegrate the card. The main issue we have is that energy colors do matter. Like, for instance, if I get 1 yellow energy, I can't spend it to play this card. Now, my basic deck is all gray energies, which is energy agnostic. We could do whatever energy we want. But I'm not sure how much I want to fill my deck full of, well, 1, this is going to start disintegrating cards at a fast rate because I don't have a lot of them. And 2, most of the cards I'm going to be picking up are red, because you only pick up cards that you have access to the orbs from. I'm not going to see green or blue, or I think that's the only other 2 colors. I mean, it's just which one you have here. So I'm actually going to skip all of these. Traveler, campsite, or shrine. This is going to be our main quest. I am just going to ignore it. I don't particularly care about doing that right now. The Shrine of Commerce. A carving sculpted from marble of the purest white captures your attention. Its luminescent surface exudes a sense of boundless abundance. A strangely thorned hand gracefully extends, inviting you to accept its offers. Okay, so we can, I believe we take a card and it transforms. And depending on how much health I give it, I get more options for what it transforms into. I don't really particularly care. I'm just gonna get rid of a block. 3 armor, in the grand scheme of things, it's nothing. It is absolutely nothing. This combat gain will 1 momentum whenever you play a surge card, upgradable and heavy. Momentum's like you play the same card twice, right? No, it's whenever you... Okay, I clearly don't know my keywords. I'm sorry. Whenever you have 5 or more momentum, remove all stacks, draw a card. So this is every 5, like, +1 health cards I draw, I get to draw 1 free. I'm not gonna draw 5 of them anytime soon, so that's not happening. First aid kit, no, I'll take first aid kit. Why not? This gives me another way of healing. The statue accepts your hand and offering in its thorned hands. The confident smile appears to fade into a smirk that seems to recognize your observations, for it offers you a brand new card. An infested direwolf. Look, the band-aids I think can be useful. Question is how often I want to play him. A lot of our early game is going to be sent with just like what we were doing earlier, where we play 1 card and we just bank the energy for later. This is going to give us 4 health total, which would put us back at full health, I guess. But I think we'll actually be up damage. Like, if we just do this instead and like bank the power, I think we'll take less damage overall. Oh yeah, and this guy's yeah, he's gonna be annoying. There's a good chance we just won't know what an enemy does 98% of the time, because it does just play all of them in a row, and I mean, I'm gonna be talking. I'm gonna be yapping, and nothing's gonna happen. Also, yes, this guy gets evasion, and when you have evasion, you avoid the next attack that someone hits you with. So we do need to start banking energy, because we're gonna have to hit him probably twice per turn, which is not easy for Jimmy here. Jimmy he's very slow, he's very sluggish, and the odds of him actually doing what he needs to do, very low. Ooh, actually, I can hit... Ooh, yeah, look at this. Look at this. I can play all of these. Okay, we just need to land 1 more square hit and he's dead. Just literally any damage, because he takes 8 damage by default. The issue is... Never mind. Oh, it's just that easy. Perfect. Give me a little bit of that money. $4. I could get more of this. It's like, hey, you really wanted to do that armor build, right? Frenzy. Frenzy is the keyword when you take damage. Okay. So, deal 6 damage. If you've taken damage, gain 10% of your health back. That's not bad. My main reservation here, and perhaps something I should have thought of before picking this character to start with, you really just want to play these over and over, right? Because you want to stack brittle, and only these cards right now are giving brittle, so I really don't want to pick any of these. So I am skipping. And see, now this is where it gets unfortunate, because there is a limited amount of cards in this deck, and like I said, if you don't pick a treasure chest, it disintegrates. So since we've drawn 2 of them, I'll never get to know what that one was. It could have been anything. It really could have been anything, but I'll never know. You find a desk. It has stuff for a potion. Make what kind of potion? I just make a red one. Red one is just a health potion. Blue one is draw. A Tuskspore and a Sharp Claw Raven. I believe this is how much health they have. We'll do the tusk boar. I think the raven's another thing that gains evasion, if I remember correctly. This is going to give us 10 health and 15 health if we're below 50%. I mean, I guess I could play it right now. I don't really need to play it, so I'm not gonna play it. We'll probably just hold on to that. I mean, ideally we use it when we get to, you know, like 39 health or whatever. But I'm not in dire enough straits to be worried about it too much. I don't see us dying here in the Weeping Willows. Maybe if we get really unlucky, perhaps. But no, see, we're just gonna get all kinds of goods, so I'm not particularly worried. Also, yeah, we'll go ahead and use these. Gain 2 health, remove all bleeding. See, we're already back up to 64 health. This guy can't hit for like 8. Yeah, 5 to 7. I think he gets anger. But this is him dead, so no real concern there. Discard a card, gain armor equal to the last damage you dealt. That's not terrible. Deal 7 damage, frenzy, gain 1 power, and draw a card. Also rampage, so it does extra damage if I have extra strength. This is tempting. The gain power and draw a card is nice. One thing you have to actually think about is frenzy is only active if you've taken damage from something that you have done on your turn. If the guy smacks you for 30, that doesn't count as taking damage on your turn. So you have to have some way of hurting yourself, and I don't have that. I honestly cannot believe they've offered me a 3rd first aid kit. I feel like these are rare. This could be good. I could theoretically, you know what? Just because I want a little bit of flavor, yeah, I will take this. It's not getting rid of my damage, and it also gives me a way to get a whole bunch of armor suddenly. A shimmering reflection in what remains of a long dead tree catches your attention. You look inside and spot various coins glittering between the leaves and twigs. Oh, yeah, I sure hope there's not a crow around here. As you prepare to leave, there's a loud squawking. Oh no! It's a raven. I guess the same difference. Whatever. Yeah, you get, yeah. Yep, gain 1 evasion every time you take damage. So I can't really do too much against this man. I actually have no power, so I can't do anything. Yeah, why not? Well, on one hand, is it better to use it when I'm at half health? Yes. On the other hand, it is just taking up a card draw every time, and that is a downside you do have to consider. See, this guy is kind of the opposite of the wolf, because you really only want to hit him 1 time. I guess if I had enough to hit him 3 times, I would, but you really only want to hit him once. Okay, I can technically hit him 3 times, so I guess I will hit him 3 times and kill him. $3. Let's see that card again. Deal 3 damage or add any damage you took since last turn. That could be pretty good. Deal 3 damage, conjure a random melee action and make it free. See, if I could get something that says inflict brittle, I'd be all over that. But that's not the case. Also, who wants 7 health? Sorry, 6 health. Perfect. Yeah, it's not a great power, but it's a starting power, and that's what we got. This is a spookier man. He's angry. He gets 1 anger at the start of his turn, and he also has extra health because he's a big lad. He's a big spooky lad. I do think it's still worth tanking damage just so I can kill him faster, because the longer this goes on, the more damage he's gonna do. We're already hitting for 10. We hit for, what, 2 on turn 1 and 10 on turn 2? I mean, you can see how fast he stacks the damage too, so this is just kind of a race to the bottom. That is, no, I'm gonna do 10 damage. I'm gonna have one. Yeah, I just didn't hit him with anything the next turn. I guess I could have maybe blocked. Yeah, that's not great. Oof, my bones. Okay, I can actually technically play this, get a little bit of health back, and then kill him. Deal heavy swing again. Deal 5 damage, gain stuff, and interrupt if you were hit last turn. See, anytime I draw any of these, I'm just not drawing my brittle cards. And again, I lose opportunity. We're gonna go with the middle one this time. A lost soul emerges, or a soft welling, sorry. It's a lost soul, and then a soft welling emerges from the shadows. As you step closer, you discern the shape of a ghostly figure standing over a shallow grave. The ghost turns, revealing the face of a young girl. Hollow eyes bleeding, glistening tears as they roll down the ghostly cheeks. Mommy, extra fella spilled the tea. The spirit looks up as speaking to you. Mommy, it smiles and runs a lap around the unmarked gravestone. Emily. All right, we can remove a random card or say, sorry, I can't help. So these events actually do have stat checks. If my guy had more than 0 brains, he would know, like, hey, maybe I should write Emily on the tombstone. Just maybe. He doesn't know that. He's look, this man, there's not a thought going on inside that brain. None. Empty. So we're just going to light a candle and we're going to remove a random card. The ghostly figure looks at you curiously as you sacrifice one of the cards. The ritual seems to soothe her, as the soft glow around the girl seems to fade until it's gone completely. The ghostly figure smiles, a shape slowly fading into its surroundings as words appear on the empty tombstone in loving memory of Emily. Alright. I do think it's probably best to try and thin your deck. Like, we don't need 17 of these. Not really. We can upgrade all of them at some point, but we can't do that just yet. So that is annoying. I've noticed that at the start of the turn, I'm wanting to click and drag to play my card, but until like half a second after the turn starts, if I try and click and drag, it just actually clicks it, and that's why I keep looking at them. I don't need to look at them. I know what they are. Whack. He's doing 2s. He's sending me for the 2s. Imagine you're Jimmy, right? And you've decided for some reason that you wish to become a warrior. A strong warrior who is, yeah, I guess it doesn't matter which one I discard, right? Suppose not. But anyway, you're a warrior, you're a strong warrior. And you're planning to fight demons. Evil, treacherous demons. And then you get one-tapped by a bird. You never even make it to the demon town. You just straight up get beamed to death by a bird. Also, this is why I wasn't worried about like using my health earlier. Like, look at this. Full health, taking no damage. We're doing great. And we might level up from this. There's that click again. Oh, we level up. Perfect. Okay, we also get skills every time we level up. We do get to re-roll these. I don't know how many re-rolls, I guess. First basic attack you play each turn to return your hand. That could be useful if I could play more than one attack at a time. But again, they're very expensive. Whenever you gain armor, gain 2 extra armor. Or you're immune to dazed and stunned. That's pretty good. I'm gonna re-roll this one. 1 re-roll remaining. I have no, like on my phone, I have like 8, and I couldn't tell you why. Whenever you play a Fury card, gain 3 health. At the start of combat, add a Fury to your discard pile. That could be good, but I'd have to cycle through my whole deck before I even get to touch it. Heal 5% of your health every time it starts combat. That's also pretty decent. Because that's just constant health regen. I already heal like a lot. And the Fury card, I think it's going to come too late to be useful. I think we take Tough Bones. Specifically... Also, that's not terrible, but I don't think I need a second one. I'm gonna be very, because of how good this starter deck is in terms of, you know, staying alive, I don't want to mess it up too much. Next run, we'll definitely be taking cards left and right as I try to figure out what we're gonna build towards. But we want to just keep it simple. We'll say simple for right now. Alright, I guess we're gonna do the story. A stranger on a horseback. A man on the back of a horse that has clearly seen better days starts to gain on you. It's Julius Belthorpe. Greetings, fellow traveler. He answers, slowing his horse onto a trot. We see Julius Belthorpe is not the only one who recognizes an opportunity when they see it. This man is Julius Belthorpe. Hello, Julius. Some signs of civilization after all. We are starting to lose hope after that man accosted me near the entrance of these woods. The man smiles and briefly lifts his pretentious hat. But we mustn't tarry. Profits await, so we bid you good day, adventurer. Do remember the name, Julius Belthorpe. Should you need any supplies, and no doubt, we're in your no doubt well-intended endeavors. Alright, we'll see him later. The bandits. Oh yeah, this guy attacks first. Rude. Like, nothing you can do about that. He straight up just hits you first. So, there goes your can you beat this game without taking damage challenge. Theoretically, you could, there is a character, and there is an event you can get where you can actually stun an enemy if they have this talent. But you have to be playing the rogue because you need, like, level 2 dex, I think? So, it's still theoretically possible. He also inflicts poison on hits, and poison makes you take 1 damage every time you play a card. I'll continue to just stack my stuff. Yeah, so he's gonna hit me for 3, and then I got 3 poison. So essentially this means that if I play, say, this card, then I will take 1 damage, and then this will decrease to 2. If I were to heal, healing is also, like, negated by this. So, for instance, this is gonna give me 1 health, but this is gonna take 1 health away, so it just... Well, it's not even that. I take 1 damage from playing the card, and then I gain 1 health, but then the poison takes 1 health. So, it's weird, but it makes sense in a kind of a way. Also, he is just dead, so let's kill him. Gain 4 armor if the enemy is holding an attack, gain 8 instead. Persistent. We'll take that. Persistent means it stays in your hand. Toxinid. So, along with our deck here, there are encounters that you have to play in order. So, every time you come through the Weeping Woods, you're gonna find the guy on the horseback, and then the bandit, and then this guy, every single time. So if you don't want to fight this guy just yet, just don't talk to the guy on the horseback. He just won't show this guy just won't show up until you've killed those 2 or the 1 guy prerequisite. We are just going to see, he's got the same stuff. First Strike and Venomous. I'd love to play this. I could still technically play it to do damage. He doesn't even have an attack. He's got like a curse. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and whack him for 1. Why not? He's probably gonna put... Is he gonna put spiders in my deck? No, he's gonna lob poison at me. Okay, and this just negates that entirely. And then I do just a smidgen of damage. He is not dead next turn. So I'm not going to play... I'm not gonna play the block. I'd rather him be dead next turn, if at all possible. I did not get anything to stop that, so... Still not dead. I will heal up, and we'll just whack him. A shame. Hey, look, dazed. I can't be... Sorry. Can't do anything about it. The reason I think that 1 perk is really good in this first area is because the boss, specifically, the gimmick is that it dazes you and stuns you. And when you get stunned, you can't play any more cards. So, it's pretty nice when you don't have to worry about that. It's also the Weeping Mother, Brood Slayer. All right, first boss. And she's got itty bitty little spider boys. Just itty bitty ones. So her entire gimmick is that she inflicts 4 dazed. And that means you can only ever play 4 cards per turn. But since we have that sweet talent, we don't have to worry about that. Granted, I can't really play more than 4 cards a turn. I can barely play 2 cards. But like this right here, like the first aid kit, that counts as 3 cards total if I were to play all those. So it's kind of quick to stack up. So in my mind, it's best if we just... Yeah, she's got interrupt too. That's gonna be annoying. Enemies with interrupts, when they hit you, which was this, on hit, it removes the target's remaining energy and ends any channeling effects. So any banked energy is gone when she hits me with that attack. And I don't know how many of these she has in her deck, because she gets 3 energy when she gets to play. So she has all these cards to play, but she can only play 3 energies worth. So if she's got 2 of these, she can only ever play 1 of them. I think we smack her with this, and then I do this. That's gonna be 8 armor. Okay, that's good. We didn't get inflicted by any of the poison. And she's saving 1 energy. Oh, that was... She did fill my deck with spiders, so when I draw this, I take 1 damage and get 1 poison. So that's just, it's a bad thing to happen. We also did not get any extra damage cards. Maybe I shouldn't have... Well, I've got 4 of them just sitting there. I want to draw 4 of them next turn. Yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and do this. I'll go ahead and use the first aid so I don't draw those anymore. We're gonna be mostly safe. The big thing here is, since we have not picked up any other damaging cards, the timer is ticking for her. It is going down, and there's not much she can do about it. Because eventually I'm gonna hit for like 20, and she's just gonna be dead. Very, very little she can actually do about this. Oh, again, I wanted to look at that. See, next, she's got like, what? 3 hits left on her? I think she's got 3 hits. So even though she still has over half health, she's actually very close to being dead. Okay, she's a little tankier now because she is healing from that. All right. Again, it doesn't matter. This just keeps stacking. Okay, yep, All right, there we go. See, this is 12 and then 40. Oh, look at that. She's 1 hit from death. That's, you're doing a lot of things here. I'm probably gonna draw. No, I'm not. I am. But unfortunately for you, you're dead. That's the power of brittle. If you can just keep going, they're eventually going to die. Take 3 damage, gain 2 power. That's pretty tempting. Deal 5 damage if the target is below 20%. Slay them. Pretty sure that just kills them instantly. See, we're gonna the way their health is gonna work because of the stuff we have. They're usually gonna get to like half health and then just die. So that's really not something we want. Also, I mean, it technically slays them, which is a thing where if you kill an enemy exactly 0 health. We don't have any cards that use that, so yeah, I think this is what we want. We're gonna take 3 damage. We're gonna be able to do an extra attack per turn. That's pretty good. Also, now that we've killed them, we can go back and explore. As the massive spider collapses, you spot a winding path behind it. In the distance, a few torches light the way. The first signs of civilization since you've entered the woods. But we haven't touched any of these campsites, so I can just use all of them at the same time. And you can either remove a card here or rest. So it basically means I could just rest up and be at full health for this. I could remove a card, but I don't... I want all the cards I have. So I don't want to remove anything. We're just gonna leave. I could go rest again, but it's really not important. Bright Candle. Bright Candle was founded by the Radiant Militia as a rallying banner, on the border between Loomis and the dark lands of Umbrus. Alright, we have made it to town. You gotta go to town twice? I think you only go to town twice in this game. But this is a place where we can do a couple things. We can go to the inn and take a nap. We can go to this lady and buy potions or transmute our cards. Or we can go to Jimmy Blacksmith and we can just start pumping iron. Upgrade a card, remove a basic card, or upgrade all of your basic cards. And just like that, we've increased our damage by 50%. I know 2 to 3 is not that crazy, but now we do 6, 9, 12, 15, as opposed to 2, 4, 6, 8. Right? That's huge. And we also technically recruit these people, so they're going to be in our deck now. So any future things, we will see this lady and the blacksmith. So don't have all that much money. I'm pretty poor. So I don't want to change, transmute anything. I do want to keep these. 5 is probably good enough. We can look at all the potions though. This is all the potions in the game. There's a handful of good ones. This one in particular, gain health equal to the next damage you deal. You hold onto that bad boy and hit for a 60, get full health. I don't think it's really worth buying potions. Not unless you really need health or something. So we're just gonna say goodbye. And we will go to the this lady. We're going to this lady. Ah, another adventurer answering the gilded summons. You arrived at a fortuitous time. We could use your assistance in this delicate matter. Skip, I'm just passing through. If you are playing this game, the last option is the option to skip every time, even if it doesn't say like skip or anything. Every dialogue, the correct option to like do good in the game is the very last option. So future runs, we just click this 15 times. I'm here to help. Glad to hear it, warrior, and you arrived none too soon. New recruits have been few and far between, most of them not as fortunate as you seem to have been. But they got murdered by the giant spider in the woods. It's hard to tell. Some whispers of desertion have started circulating recently. One of the more capable officers went missing. Others suspect their inexperience caused them to fall prey to the local wildlife. So as you see, our losses outside the battlefield are growing faster than I care to have publicly known. Which makes you a good and frankly expendable candidate to investigate this delicate matter. Alright. I will investigate the random guys who are missing. Glad to hear it. Report back with this information, and the gilded summons will make it worth your time. We can go to the inn. There's nothing to do here besides take a nap for 20 bucks. Like, that's... Drinks are scarce, but you could take a nap. So yeah, nothing really much happening here, so we're just going to leave. As you approach the guards at the gates, they solemnly salute you. Ready to head out? Yep. Okay, base game, DLC, not touching either of these. We're going to the Eastern Blightwoods.